Do you work or study? I work. I work as an English teacher. Well, I've been doing this job for about 8 years now. Well, I like it. It's quite rewarding and very fulfilling. Why did you choose to do that type of work? Well, my English is good enough to teach classes, and I've always been interested in teaching, and it's very rewarding to help students improve their English skills. Is your job important to you? Of course, my job means a lot to me. Well, I'm so passionate about what I do, and I love my job. Teaching has always been my passion. Plus, well, I work 5 days a week. Yeah, it plays a significant role in my life. Do you go running a lot? I go for a run on my free period, and it's usually on weekends because I have a hectic schedule during the week most of the time. Well, usually I go running in the morning as it helps me start the day in a great mood. Where do you usually go running? I mostly go to the park nearby, which has beautiful views of nature, well-managed walking trails through the trees and all kinds of flowers. Well, it's quite a huge park offering tennis courts, bike trails, and even a place to fish. Yeah, I like the park. When was the last time you went running? The very last time I went running was not too long ago. It was last weekend. Well, I went running with my friend Gina. Well, she likes it as much as I do, so we often enjoy it together. Well, it's good that I have someone to go running with. What do you think of running as a sport? I think it's good for everything. I mean, it's great for both physical and mental health. It definitely helps me control my weight and get into shape. Since I started running regularly, I've been feeling much more energetic and less stressed. Describe a person who enjoys cooking for others. Okay, let me tell you about my friend June, who loves cooking for others. He's my high school friend. We met on the very first day of school. He sat beside me and introduced himself, and we struck up a conversation. He's been my best friend to this day. And he loves inviting people over and cooking for them. He's a fantastic cook, whipping up all sorts of restaurant quality dishes. I'm a huge fan of his seafood pasta. It tastes absolutely heavenly. And he's also great at baking. His muffins melt in my mouth. He's such a social butterfly who enjoys meeting new people and has a wide circle of friends. So people love him. He always gives out positive vibes, which makes people feel very happy and comfortable. Also, he's very witty too. I mean, he has such a good sense of humor. Yeah, so he's the person who always makes silly jokes to lighten the mood. Moreover, because he's a good cook and a real foodie, he knows all the best spots. Well, I've never been disappointed with his recommendations. Recently, I went to the sushi restaurant he recommended. It was located downtown but was kind of hidden in an alley. Their sashimi was so fresh, melting in my mouth. I always trust his recommendations. So as soon as I received this cue card question, my friend June immediately came to mind. What do we need to prepare when we need to cook? When you cook, there are several items that you should prepare, including ingredients and cooking utensils like pots, knives, and dishes. Well, you might need additional items, but it really depends on what you're cooking and how you're cooking. Do you agree that food is an important part of Korean festivals and ceremonies? Oh, definitely. There's sometimes everything. Well, for any celebrations in Korea, we've got to have a huge feast, including various dishes such as rice cakes, barbecued meats, and traditional Korean liquor. So on the day of the celebration, people are bustling with preparations. Which dishes are a must at festivals? Well, if we're talking about Korean traditional festivals, you can't forget about rice cakes. They are a tradition we always uphold. Well, back then, we used to make rice cakes at home, but now it takes too much effort, Everyone buys rice cakes for every traditional festival. Should students learn to cook at school? Yes, absolutely. It would be beneficial if all students learned how to cook at school. Cooking is a vital life skill that makes life easier and more convenient. So I do think schools should offer mandatory cooking classes. Do you think cooking should be a compulsory or an elective course? Why? Well, as I said, in my personal view, cooking should be a required class in schools as a basic life skill that's super useful for everyone. Plus, it can help us eat better, so it makes sense to make it mandatory. Are there any differences between cooking today and in the past? It has changed quite a bit. Well, I think the biggest change is that there are various sources we can search about recipes, cooking tools and all on the internet these days. Now you can easily find videos, websites, and apps that help you learn the recipes and more.